Hello and welcome to the Manage My Club tutorial series video number 8. Today we're going to be going over bank statements. Now if you want to use the bank reconciliation and income and expenses, you need to add bank statements. Now when you add in bank accounts under the setup menu, it gives you the option to add the opening balance, and you must set that to be the balance of your bank account at that moment in time in the month that you want to start using the bank statement feature. The reason for that is because I'll get to that in a minute. It matters for the reconciliation because it ties in with the closing balance on the statement, so that you know when the two are reconciled, you've not got a difference. How to add a bank statement? We go to Finance Bank Statements. At the moment, you can see I've got one in already, but if you didn't have one, you'd click the Add button and fill out these fields. So your statement number, the date from and the date to that the statement covers, which bank account the statement relates to, and the closing balance of the statement. There's a couple of ways you can do it. You can click Add, and that will add it manually, and then on the next page you can add the statement transactions one at a time. Or quicker way of doing it is to import your bank statement in CSV or XLS format from your bank. So you download the bank statement from your online banking, still fill in this bit at the top, click Browse, select your file. It just needs to be a standard basic CSV or Excel, no fancy formulas in it or anything. It just needs the column headers at the top and then one transaction per row. Once you've selected it on your computer, click Add. You'll add it, then you click on it and you'll come to this page with all your transactions listed. Right, this statement I've previously added just to show you it's only got one transaction on it. The closing balance I've put as 1,020. The balance on the bank account when I added it I've set as 1,000. So you can see in a second when we click the reconcile button at the top, you'll see where that comes in. Once you've got your statement transactions on, if you do need to add any more manually, just click on this button here and fill it in, click Add, and it'll add it as an extra one. Once you've done all that and you've got everything added, click Reconcile, and this here is where the system picks up your bank balance. So like I said before, I set that to be 1,000. The closing balance on the statement, I set it to be 1,020. So we know that there's a difference of 20 there, and on this statement there's one transaction with a value of 20 quid. So on the left we've got the bank statement transactions, and on the right we've got options for what we want to do with those transactions. There's three options, three tabs. First one is Create. Now what that means is, if you've not added an income record in the background, i.e. if you've not added an invoice payment to an invoice relating to this payment here, that's when you would use Create, because it'll do all that in the background for you. So you'd click Create, you'd fill in the details that come up, automatically picks up the bits from here. So 20 matches up with the date, and then whatever was the transaction details will be in here. All you need to do is select your your account code, which is set up under Setup Finance. We're touching that on in a later video. And then as soon as I click Reconcile now, I'm not going to because I want to show you this match, but if I did do that, in the background the system would create an income record for £20 with these details, and then it would also say that is reconciled against this transaction, and it would disappear off here, allowing you to move through to the next one and the next one and the next one if there was any. So what we want to do is click match, because I know that I've already got an income record in the system because I created an invoice I added an invoice payment to an invoice. And when you add an invoice payment to an invoice, in the background it automatically creates an income record for it, so that it's ready to be reconciled when you do this. So we select that, and then in a second I'll show you what happens when you click that. The third option is split. Now what that means is if you've got a family, say with more than one member, or they're paying a lump sum that covers more than one invoice, you would need to split that income across, split that transaction across multiple income records. And what you would do is you would click into here. It's not showing now because there's only one in the system, but you would select one at a time and they'd all be listed. Every income record you select that relates to this, once you're done, you click reconcile, and that would in the background mark that as a split reconciliation against this, and it would disappear again, as in if you were doing the create. Now the one I want to show you at the moment is match, because I know we've got one in the system. So you click match, find the one you want. The quick tip: when you've got loads of income, obviously this is going to be quite a big list. If you start searching, start typing, it filters the list to make it much easier for you to find out what it is you're trying to find. So obviously with one it doesn't really show you that, but we select the one we want to reconcile against. Once that's done, click reconcile, and that's done. In the background it's marked that transaction statement transaction is reconciled against the income record that I selected. And it's also, if you notice up here, it's updated the balance now because we've just added £20 to the system, so it's added that on. And if you look at these two now, they match. So you know at this moment in time the system's reconciled against your bank, and that's bank reconciliation. Obviously in the background there's a lot more going on, and I touched on things like invoice payments, income and expenses. What we'll do in a future video, we'll be going through those in more detail, so you get better understanding of what that is. So that was bank reconciliation. Thanks for watching. The next video we'll be going through will be expenses, and see you next time.